Well, I'm Danny at Dynodaze, and this is my 12-month review of ownership of my Championship White Civic FN2. Well, she is filthy. She is filthy, and she has had a wash in the last week or so. But this is my video explaining how I'm feeling after 12 months of ownership of my Civic. And I've got to tell you, there's some plus points and there's some negative points. I'm going to start with a fairly obvious negative point. Whilst Championship White Civics look absolutely stunning, clean, it's never clean. It's a white car. I can go down the road and it's instantly filthy, and there's nothing I can do about it. So the majority of the time, my Championship White Civic is not Championship White, it's more of a Championship Grey. Exterior wise, I've noticed on my particular Civic, and I've seen it on a few, these things annoy me. I need new clips, they're forever popping off. It's one of those things that if you have a Civic, it's the ownership, it's, you know, these things, but I'm going to tell you anyway that these are bloody annoying. Now, it might be because of my wheel fitment, but they pop off. I only need to hit a bump in the road and they're straight off. A very annoying thing, roof rust. Yeah, well, most of them have it. Some of them get repaired by Honda. This one being a Honda press car, you'd think that they'd want to help me out, but no. So Honda, you suck a bowl of dicks and you will not help me. So it means that Uncle Keith's paint shop's going to have to do this, and that's going to be about a £600 fix. Roof rust. Trims for my exhaust. Well, I've got a single exit, so one is always black, looks like it's been on fire, and the other one's just filthy. Yeah, can't do much about that because obviously I've got a single exit exhaust as opposed to a twin exit. One of the negative points about the FN2 Civic is that virtually every exhaust that's been developed for them knocks and rattles and bangs without modification at a place like ours. So most of them knock, bang, rattle and twat about, and mine certainly is one of them as well. I've laid under my car several times putting my exhaust back onto the hangers. It's like it was underdeveloped, or the research and development didn't go into creating them. We've seen exhaust systems that you've seen in the videos that have had to have an extra inch of material put in to make them fit properly. Boot leaks. It seems to be a common problem, doesn't it? All FN2 Civics seem to have this issue where the boot leaks. Now mine is actually particularly dry at the moment, even though I haven't fixed it, and I've known I've had a problem for a little while. I tend to keep my flap open and it lets it air a little bit, and that has almost rectified my problem, but I suspect that when the winter comes and it starts hammering it down again, I am going to have to get it fixed. There's my helmet, never leave home without it. Interior. Now, I love my interior, and it's definitely one of my positive points for the car. It's absolutely great place to be. It looks fantastic, it feels fantastic. The seats are extremely comfortable, I very rarely have anything in the back of the car, in the back seats, but it gets a little bit dusty in here. I think that's the design and the great big dashboard, but I love everything about it. I love the clocks in there, I love the technology. I especially love the Ecutek software that we've put on this car. It really makes me feel like I've got a little bit more control over this car than most. Having a multifunctional steering wheel allows me to switch through my maps, adjust my launch control. It's an experience. It's like you are more of the master of your car than you were before. I really, really like it. The interior is beautiful. Yeah, I just love everything about it. I love my stereo. Although I've got to upgrade my speakers, I do love this. I do love the interior. It was one of the big selling points to me. When you're driving a car, the only bit you see is the inside. Okay, an incredibly filthy engine bay, but you've got to admit that the K20 engine just looks fantastic, doesn't it? The actual, I've seen loads of engines over the years, and I've always thought that the K20 looked the best in there. Now mine's filth, and like with the exterior of the car, the bodywork, which has seen better days, as you can tell. Also the interior of the car, of the engine bay, has seen better days. Check that out. Yep, that's something that'll have to get sorted. Also, because mine's a white car, nothing ever looks neat and tidy. CPL big bore reduction kit, I don't particularly think that fits particularly well after rejigging it a few times and Richard making it, adjusting it. It's a great bit of kit and I love the noise of it, but again, I mean, come on, look at it. I could do better, couldn't I? I could definitely do better. I'm trying not to be overcritical. I am trying not to be overcritical because, as you guys know, I've got a passion for this car and I love this car. So if something could be better in this car, it's definitely presentation. Presentation could definitely be better. The aesthetics could be better. I've got a friend who owns a company called Kaizen and he does lots of little dress-up bits. We also are a hybrid racing dealer. So maybe, again, I'll get some bits and bobs to tidy this up. I've seen some brilliant cars at the Owners Club Day, and they all looked absolutely sexy. So that's my target for later on in the year. And whilst I'm talking about the Owners Club, the best experience from owning this vehicle is the people that I've met. It is the Owners Club. It is the camaraderie. It is the brothers in arms that are the FN2 owners. It is the modified FN2 Type R page, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a wealth of knowledge. The people there are great. I don't know whether you experience other owners clubs where everybody seems to hate, but that's such a good place to be. Just like sitting inside my Civic, I love doing that. I love sitting on the internet, on Facebook, and talking to my friends that are part of that club. It's such a brilliant club and you've got to go and check it out. So that's a big positive for this car. The support at the Owners Club. I had new wheels sort of in the winter, and since then I have mullered them, so these are going to need a refurb. I love them. These are actually like a bronze colour, almost like not bronze, they're not bronze, are they? They're like a gunmetal grey sort of colour. When they're clean, these are filthy. When I first had this car, I did my usual and I went round and I replaced all the brakes, all the calipers, the braided brake lines, and as you saw in some of the videos previously, this particular car was a little bit ropey underneath and that needed to get sorted, and that was 2 days worth of work. But it's good now underneath, so I mean, again, that's a positive. Negative in the first respect, but positive in the fact that that's the kind of thing that we can do here, so I'm very fortunate. Driving the car is a wonderful experience, and I don't mean that in a way where I'm comparing this to the best cars in the world. It's a 13-year-old car, and it puts a smile on my face every single time I go out in it. Every single time. I love it. Some days I can hoon it. Some days like today I can get 31 miles per gallon out of it if I wanted to. It's a driver's car. People compare it to the EP3, and I think that's a little bit unfair because it is a different car. It just has the same heart in it. Yeah. So one of the biggest plus points of the car is the one that you want, isn't it, really? It's the main plus point. It's the driving it. And when I drive this, I absolutely love it. You guys know from the videos that I do on a Sunday that it's my time. It's my time to go and enjoy a bit of quiet time, or a bit of noisy time if I'm dropping some bombs. But it's my time to myself, and it's the perfect car to go out and just have a bit of fun in, and take your brain out sometimes, or sometimes just chill and listen to some music. And like I say, my stereo's pretty good. But it's a great car. It handles well, in my opinion, and I'm not the best, most experienced driver in the world. I'm going to class myself as an enthusiast. I'm just a driver. I just drive some cars and I have fun doing it. I'm not competitive. I'm not some sort of amazing track legend like Jensen, who's driven this car. But you know, I do enjoy it, and I do take my time when I want to take my time, and when it's safe to do so, I do open her up, and she'll easily double the speed limit, and I I think it's a great barrel of fun, and I do really enjoy driving it. So it's got to be the biggest, over the 12 months, it's got to be the biggest plus point. It's got to be the biggest plus point that I just so much enjoy driving it.
Life moves pretty fast.